Good morning. This is Chris Whelan from the Wellington Centre of Business Excellence, Building Better Businesses. I'm coming to you today from the Gold Coast in Australia. I've just finished a 3-day conference with Asia Pacific Action coaches from all across the region. I had the opportunity to speak at it and, of course, to attend it. And just wanted to do a quick video before I hop on a plane and fly back to home in Wellington. And let's have a quick chat with you about a couple of things in business. And I suppose the question I would have for you is, how is your business going? Right. And actually, in many ways, it comes down to how are you going as a business owner, as the leader, and how are your teams going? Why do I say that? Because let's assume for a second that you've got great systems and great processes, because the best businesses are run by great systems and great processes, and they need to have great people running those systems and running those processes, because without the people, the thing falls apart. Relationships matter. People don't buy from systems. They buy from people. They don't engage with systems, although they might use them, but they engage with people. So it comes down to how you're doing, how your team's doing. And what unfortunately we see is that people do get tired. They are people make mistakes. That's all normal. I wanted to give you three easy things that you can do. You can build it into your daily routine to make sure that you check in with yourself and you check in with your team, and that you have simple metrics. I'm not talking about complicated dashboards and massive NPS scores or all of those things. It's just some simple tools and some simple techniques that you can use in a daily basis for yourself and for your team. All right, so let's kick straight into it, because obviously you want to make sure that your team's motivated. You want to stay close to your people. And as I say, well, I haven't said it now, but I've said it typically in many, many different situations. The limit to your business is yourself. It's your personal growth. And so understanding that and checking in with yourself, keeping yourself accountable is massively important. So let's kick into those three things. The first thing is that you may or may not know what a WIFLE is. It's something that we use a lot. I use a lot with my clients. It's an acronym for what do I feel like expressing? Right? What do I feel like expressing? It's a check-in process. It's very simple in its concept. But imagine this situation. You come into a meeting, you've been busy outside, you've been doing something, that's been totally distracting, or you've got something going on in your life that is really quite emotional for you. And you want to get to that emotion. When you're engaging with your customers, when you're engaging with your team, you actually want to understand what's going on in their lives. Because if you don't, you can never really assist, you can never sort out problems. And again, as I say, the same applies to you. So what do I feel like expressing is an opportunity for me to say to the other person in a structured, controlled environment, what I feel like expressing is A, B, or C. Now, that might sound, a little bit, it's all up here, it's all in the head. It goes way beyond that. It gets right down to the emotions. And I'll give you an example of it and why it works so powerfully. We were discussing an example where client was doing this with their team, 5 or 6 people going around the circle and saying, right, Joe, what do you feel like expressing? And Joe said, well, what he feels like expressing that he's incredibly frustrated with Frank. Of course, I'm just making up these names because Frank keeps coming late to meetings. He's distracted. He leaves work early. He doesn't arrive on time. And, Joe's just absolutely had enough of it. And that went around the circle. Everyone had the opportunity to express. Now, bear in mind, Frank in that situation, the fictitious Frank, isn't in this position to say, well, I did it for this reason, or I did it for that reason, because the process is to get everyone the opportunity to express what they feel like expressing. The second part of it, though, is where Frank has the opportunity, or anyone else in the group has the opportunity to do what we call burnings. So from what you expressed, Joe, I have a burning. This is what Frank said. Frank was dealing with his wife who was going through chemotherapy at the time. He was massively distracted. The reason he was coming late to work because he took his wife to chemotherapy every single morning when she was getting the treatment. And of course, then had to take his kids to school. And so then got to work. No one knew that in the team. No one in his business knew that. He'd kept it to himself. But through this process, he literally broke down, right? He went through an emotional breakdown in the what do I feel like expressing process. Now, is that a thing that you keep out of work? No, you actually want to embrace it. You want to embrace that emotion, because through that, other people in the team, then when they did the burnings, because they could follow the same order, other people in the team, wow, Frank, we didn't know, right? How can we help you? How can we accommodate that situation? How can we make this work environment work for you? And all of that came through that WIFLE process, that checking in, following the structure of it, giving a safe constructive environment where everyone expressed. So Joe expressed, yeah, was freaked out about the fact that Frank was late. Frank in the burning said, "This is just want to explain to you why the situation is." It changed people's perspectives. It made the team come together. And so they're a massively powerful thing. I would recommend you do them. And if you want to know more about it, happy to show them to you, happy to work it through. So the first thing is that WIFLE. The second thing, and it's a slightly different one, some simple daily metrics. What is your ambition? What's your drive? And what's your resilience? Just ask yourself on a daily basis. Ask your team when you have one-to-ones. What's their ambition? What's their drive? What's their resilience? Maybe on a scale of 1 to 5, on a scale of 1 to 10. Right? How ambitious are you? And when I say ambitious, I'm not saying to conquer the world, for whatever it is that you're doing. Right? You want your ambition to be strong and powerful. You want to feel that emotion. My ambition is to climb Mount Everest. Right? If that was your ambition, what is your ambition on a scale of 1 to 10? What's your drive? Right? How motivated are you to really get that done? Don't go and try and do 1,000 things. Focus on one thing. What's your drive to get that thing done today? Right? On again, scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. And then if the third thing is how resilient are you feeling? Very, very important, particularly in an environment of stress. And it's realistic. So simple metrics, not trying to reinvent the wheel. How ambitious are you? How driven are you today? How are you feeling again? And how resilient are you feeling? So that's the second part. The third one, and this is a slightly different one, we were having a conversation about hiring people because you want to get the best people, the right people on the bus in the right seats at the right time. And people one of the comments was, you want to hire hungry people. What do they mean? You want people that want to be part of your organization. Follow a process when you're hiring of actually excluding the people that don't want to be there. They're just there for the job, or they're just there because there's nothing else to do. When you're going through the recruitment process, follow an exclusion process in many ways. So you make sure that the people that you end up shortlisting, the people you end up interviewing, are people that want to be there. They're hungry for the job. They align with your visions. They align with your values. Again, very, very happy to talk to you further about that because it's a great process that we can work through together. I want to give you a little bit of a bonus and a slightly different, but a bit of a bonus comment though, the fourth element. And that is that every goal that you have in your business needs a strategy, right? One of the people at the conference spoke about that. Every goal needs a strategy. It's no good having 10-year goals. I love them, but there's no good having them. You need to have daily goals and then a strategy of how you're going to achieve it. Think about that. Think what it means for your business. Think about the three tips, the WIFLE, the three simple metrics, and of course, then how to hire people. If you want to know more, very, very glad to have the conversation with you. Greetings again from the Gold Coast. Have a fantastic week, and we will touch base shortly. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.